Good morning, everyone. Back at work. It's been a hell of a week. It is pouring rain today, and it's also Memorial Day weekend, so we are buckling down and bracing for a hell weekend. As I said before, I'm in a shore town. The Bennies are here. If you guys don't know what a Benny is, it's somebody that does not live at the shore, and they infest our shore on holidays and weekends during the summer. So they're all here. We appreciate the Bennies for the economy, of course, but not for the traffic and the call volume. So I'm at work, and I'll show you real quick what I'm eating for breakfast. I'm still following 21 Day Fix the best I can during this hell of a week that I've been going through. So I have a banana. This is a huge banana, so it's going to count as 2 fruits because it's gigantic. And the reason why the peel is brown is because I put it in the refrigerator because I wasn't home, didn't want my bananas to rot, didn't want to attract fruit flies. So when you put your banana in the refrigerator, the peel gets brown, but the inside of the banana is just fine. I also have 2 hard-boiled eggs. This counts as 1 red container, 2 eggs is 1 protein, and I have 2 rice cakes. This counts as 1 yellow container. These little baggies are from Walmart. They're pretty cool because they're color coordinated and they match the containers. But that's what I'm having for breakfast, as well as my coffee with sugar-free creamer, and then I have my water, which you're supposed to drink 12 cups of water a day, which at work it's hard because I don't want to be going to the bathroom every 5 minutes at work, but I try to do what I can. Like I said, it's gross out. We're trying to wait for a little lull in this pouring weather so we can go out and check the truck. But for now, I'm just gonna finish up my coffee and see what has to be done in the office at the moment. But anyway, welcome to my channel if you're new here. If you're not new, welcome back. If you could, please hit that subscribe button down below, hit the bell notification so that you're notified every time I post. Follow me on Instagram at everyday_tidbits and Facebook at everydaytidbits because I would love for you to be a part of my social media family. I hope everyone's being safe. Let's get the day started. And I hope that we're not too busy today because I'm exhausted already. All right, well, I'll wait for the rain to let up a little bit. I'm gonna make some locks for the truck, IV setups. So we have a lock setup, which has a label, tape, gauze, antiseptic applicator, which is like alcohol swab, tourniquet, and dressing. So one of these, an extension set, an 18 gauge needle, a 20 gauge needle, a flush, and that's what goes into our lock setup. So I usually make 10 per shift. And then at the end of the night, if we used a lot of lock setups, I'll make more. So that's what I'm gonna do now.
I bet you think that I should calm down, and that I'm overthinking everything about you, and that we're good the way we are. But I don't know that much about you. What things you like and what you don't, it's not that long since I met you for the first time. You know we should work it out. You know we should work it out before I'm too invested.
So I'm out in the truck doing the truck check, and inside our truck we have like lots of little bins that organize our equipment. This happens to be the airway bin. Usually in our backup we keep, these are iGel airways. We keep 3 sizes. One's for 50 to 90 kilograms, and then one is from 90 and over kilograms, and then the other one is from 30 to 60 kilograms, and that doesn't include, we also have smaller sizes for the pediatric patients. We also have these pretty new and pretty neat Decanter suction catheters. They have a wider lumen, so that way you can get the yuckies out, the bigger pieces of the yuckies. I'm sorry about the lighting, guys. Yeah, there we go. It's like really disgusting out, so I don't have any sunlight. So basically this bin has all of our airway stuff. We have the stuff to intubate. We carry Mac blades, which are like curved and like an apple. So that's how I remember that this is a Mac blade when I was a student. And then we have Miller blades to intubate, which are straight blades. One goes into the vallecula, one goes under the vallecula to lift it up so that you can see the cords to intubate. We have viral filters. These are pretty important during COVID. It's just a filter that goes from the patient to the device that we're using to filter out the virus. So that way, if anything's aerosolized in the air, there's not like viral particles flying around. It's just an extra barrier that we have, which is really nice. Then we have all different size ET tubes, which is the endotracheal tubes. These are the tubes that we use to intubate people. So we have different sizes. We usually carry 2 sizes of each in our backup equipment. We have PEEP valves. PEEP valves are used when you're using a bag valve mask to ventilate somebody. And this basically holds pressure. It holds your lungs open so that way there's a greater surface for oxygen exchange in your lungs. So that's the purpose of the PEEP valve. We also have devices to measure end-tidal CO2. Basically shows how much CO2 you're blowing off. And we like to keep that number between 35 and 45. And that just shows us that the patient's being adequately ventilated. Yeah, so that's some of the stuff that we have in our backup stuff. We have a commercial tube tamer device. This basically, once you have a patient intubated, it kind of goes over the tube and it secures it. Then there's a little strap that goes around the patient's neck and it holds the tube in place so that way it's less likely to get pulled out. Because sometimes that can happen when you're moving someone, or if someone's bagging too hard and pushing down on the tube, it could become dislodged. So that is a commercial device that we have to prevent that. You know, back in the day when I was a brand new medic, we used tape. That worked too. So if you don't have a commercial device to do it, you would basically split the tape and then put it around the tube, crisscross it on one side, tape it to the patient's mouth, and then same thing on the other side. So it's nice that they're coming out with these commercial devices. It makes our job a lot easier. But, you know, like I said, back in the day we used tape. So that's our airway bin. This is the bin that we keep all of our cardiac equipment in. And we have EKG stickers. I need to bring a few more out to the truck. But this is the open pack that we keep in the monitor. This is the stickers that hold the EKG cables onto your chest so that we can do an EKG of your heart. So we have those in the backup equipment. You know, once you take these out, they're a pain in the butt to get back in the package because of the little snaps. But, okay, so we have that, and then we have the defibrillator pads. It connects to our monitor, and this is to defibrillate somebody. We usually keep 2 of these. There's also pediatric pads as well. They're different sizes. Then we have disposable blood pressure cups. And these are, hey guys, I have a job, so I'll be back in a little bit. I'm with Matt again today. Hi, Matt.
Hey.
And we are responding to a middle-aged person with COPD who's having difficulty breathing. Look at the weather. It is pretty darn nasty out. So we'll let you know what we have afterwards. The squad just went second alert, so hopefully, hopefully they show up. If not, we do have backup service in that town, which is great. And like I said, yeah, we'll let you know what we have after the call. I'm back. We got canceled. Let me see if I can get a better picture of them. Ooh. That's better. All right, so I was showing you the cardiac bin. We have EKG stickers, defibrillator pads, disposable cuffs. We use those for people that we know have COVID, so we could just throw it out afterwards. Or if somebody's really messy and gross, bloody, like on a trauma, we could just throw it out afterwards. We keep a spare battery for the monitor, which this one's good. We have razors to shave really hairy people, so that way we can get the stickers to stick. we have 2 types of razors. These are for the, we have one that's battery operated, and then we have, you know, old school razors. We also have a pediatric pulse ox. This actually will stick to the baby's fingers because they're so tiny that they won't fit inside of an adult pulse ox. So that's something else that we keep in our cardiac bin. And then we have spare monitor paper for the EKG machine. And then these are called sharp darts. These are for, you know, we keep one inside the monitor and one inside of our bag. Because when we start an IV or check someone's sugar or administer a medication that has a needle on the end, we can have a safe place to dispose of the needle. So that's what that is for. So here's our monitor, the EKG machine. So we check every morning, we turn it on and do a check to make sure that it's running properly. We check the battery on the back to make sure that there's enough battery power. So it pretty much does a self-check when it comes on. And then it says, you know, it says that it's either good or bad. Why are we blurry? Hello? That's better. So it does a self-check when you turn it on. So once we know that everything's good, turn it off. And make sure we have enough stickers, EKG stickers, and make sure that we have a sharp dart. Also make sure that the sharp dart's empty. If there's any sharps in the sharp dart, we have a large sharps container down here on my right that we can empty it into. And when that sharps container is full, we can go to the hospital, the local hospital where we are, and call the environmental agency part, the environmental department, and they'll come and empty the sharps container for us and give us a new one. Okay, so in this side of the monitor, we have our the wires. We have a pulse ox, we have the wires that go to the EKG, and we have the blood pressure cuff. So that's on this side. On this side, we have all the why are we keep getting blurry? Hello, blurriness. Can you please stop? Hello. It's a little better. So on this side, we have the defibrillator pads that, you know, for the defibrillator part of our monitor. And we also have different size blood pressure cuffs. So we have the large one for larger patients, and we have the smaller ones for our babies and kids. I apologize, guys. I'm really not sure why the focus is. It's probably because of the lighting, because of the weather. So I apologize for the picture getting blurry sometimes. And then on the outside pocket, we have end-tidal CO2. We have one that goes to the ET tube. And then we have one as a nasal cannula. This doesn't really provide much oxygen. It just measures the end-tidal CO2, which is the amount of CO2 you're blowing off. This is gonna drive me crazy. Maybe I have to bring you closer. Let me see if I can find a better spot for this camera, and I'll be right back. Also in the truck, we keep plenty of fluid for medication mixture and administration. So we have dextrose 10%, which is also D10. This is for our diabetics. So we carry 2 bags of these in the backup. We have a normal saline 100 bag. This is for medication mixtures. Certain medications need to be mixed into saline and given over like 10 minutes with a pump. So that's what this is for. And then we have 2 normal saline 250 bags. And we also carry normal saline 500 cc bags. And we like to keep 4 of these. And then this is lactated ringers, which is balanced for resuscitation of like blood loss. So there's lactated ringers has lactate in it to help prevent you know, acidosis and trauma when you lose blood. So we use lactated ringers on our trauma patients. You can also use lactated ringers for a severe GI bleed because they are losing blood, even though it's not coming from a wound, it's coming from their body, period. So lactated ringers. And we also have, stand by, other fluids that we carry in the truck. We have D5W, which is 5% dextrose in water. That's also used for to mix medications and administer via IV on a pump. So we have that. And then we carry dopamine in a mixture bag. This is already pre-mixed. And we have magnesium in a bag, which is already pre-mixed. Like, we always in the past had to mix this ahead of time, but now it comes pre-mixed, which is super convenient because our magnesium that we carry in our med bag comes in a vial, so you would have to draw it up and then inject it into a bag and mix it ourselves. So this is super... Focus. There we go. Hey, focus, you're having an issue today. As I was saying, it's super convenient now that this is pre-mixed. And we also have nitroglycerin, which is also, we administer this on a pump. And nitro is given for a lot of different reasons. We mainly use this for CHF in the field, as well as not CHF, I'm sorry, for chest pain and heart attacks. So this is something you would hang on a drip for if you have a long transport to manage someone's pain. You know, in my post where I am posted, I'm very close to the hospital, so it's not often that I have to actually hang a drip on someone. But if you were in an area where the hospital was really far away, IV drips are very common. I have done it in the past. I used to work at a post where the hospital was a half hour away. Now there are some locations here where we are a half hour away from the hospital, but for the most part we're pretty close. So IV drips on this post are not that common, but we have them just in case. So with all these bags of fluid, we also carry all this tubing as well. We usually carry 10 tubings because we have multiple bags so that we can have backup to restock the truck. Makes sense, right? So on the BLS side of things, in our truck, basic life support, we have to carry stuff. Even though we are paramedics, we have to carry the basic life support stuff too, because there is a theory, good BLS before bad ALS. So getting an airway, getting a suction, getting all that stuff is something that BLS can do. They can insert oral airways, nasal pharyngeal airways, you know, in the nose, in the mouth. It's not an endotracheal tube that we can do. That's an advanced practice. But immediately starting to get an airway on somebody while you're setting up the ET tube and stuff, insert an oral airway, insert a nasal airway, and then start bagging with the BVM. That's what we do. We start the basic life support measures first so the patient can get oxygenated and ventilated, and then we set up our tube and do that stuff. So, you know, say we have a CPR call. ALS and BLS, we both have defibrillators. They just look a little different. Ours is in the monitor. Theirs is a portable. The police department also has a defibrillator. They can come and they can hook the patient up to the defibrillator, BLS and police department, and start CPR and start defibrillating before the paramedics even get there. So once we get there, we put our heart monitor on, we see what the rhythm is, we determine if it's a shockable rhythm. If it is, we'll shock them. If not, we can start the IV, give medications to try and convert it, you know, and then go down an algorithm that we have called H's and T's that rule out certain things so that we can try to reverse whatever's going on here and bring this person back. So, like I said, back to our BLS equipment. We have a suction unit. It's plugged in up there. I'm not about to take that big old thing out, but in our suction bin we have several different sizes of catheters. We have 18s, we have 16s, we have 12s, 14s. We have extra tubing for the suction unit. Then we have the boogie picker, mostly for kids. And then we have, these are Yankauers. These are for the bigger pieces. And then we have Ducanto suction as well, which is a bigger lumen, like I showed you in the airway kit. So we have suction equipment, and we have airway equipment. Stand by, I'll get that for you. So, okay, so basic life support EMT stuff that they can use, we use it too. This is a non-rebreather. It's a high flow oxygen mask. You can go up to 15 liters with this. And basically how this works is that there's a little bag on the end. You deflate it, you inflate it with oxygen, and it continually gives you oxygen at a high flow rate. This is an EMT skill, but we have them too. So, because like I said, BLS before ALS. This is a nasal cannula. This is a lower flow. It goes anywhere from 2 to 6 liters of oxygen. And this is the little prong that's in your nose. I'm sure you guys have seen people with the oxygen up their nose. That's what that is. And then we have what I was saying is the nasal pharyngeal airways. These are little tubes that basically you use a little bit of water-soluble lube it up and stick it in someone's nose. The thing is, when you use these, they have to be breathing. It has to be a breathing patient. So you have to try to get it in there. Well, not necessarily. Anybody that needs assistance with their airway, anybody that's can't breathe or having difficulty breathing, or even before we get there, if it's a cardiac patient, CPR, put a nasal airway in. Put 2 in. 2 is great. You get like all the air in there. So nasal pharyngeal airway, and that's what this is. And then this is an oral pharyngeal airway. These are little like plastic little cannulas that you put in someone's mouth. Keeps their tongue from falling on the back of their throat so that their airway remains open so that you can ventilate. So we carry these. And then anytime you have one of those in, you need a bag valve mask to ventilate somebody with. Now, let me see if I can get this package open. Okay. This is just an air-filled reservoir. This is the pediatric one. But it's an air-filled reservoir with a bag. So you would inflate this bag so that it's continuous giving oxygen. And then there's a mask. I'm not going to open the mask because I don't want it to get dirty. But there's a mask that goes on the end that you would use to put on the patient's mouth and then ventilate with this bag. So if you use one of these airways, the nasopharyngeal airway or the oral pharyngeal airway, with this, you are getting 100% oxygen into somebody in the best way possible. So when we get there and we intubate somebody, you take the mask off, and this part right here, this opening, will go right on the patient's ET tube. When we intubate somebody, the breathing tube. This goes right on the end. So you can take these out, and because the ET tube is in, and then we can ventilate off that. In this cabinet we have our PPE, we have masks, and we have gowns so that we're all prepared for you know, any type of call. Up here is just more ALS. Oh, you can see my face. We have our CPAP, which I showed you in a previous video. I have to step over some things here, excuse me. Then we have more airway stuff, more suction stuff, and then we have our vent circuit. We do have a vent on this truck, which makes it amazing to free up our hands when we have ROSC, which is return of spontaneous circulation. Return of spontaneous, yes, ROSC. When we bring somebody back on a CPR call, this, we put them on a vent. This is just a spare vent circuit. And this is our nebulizers. We have some of these in the truck. This is to give somebody a breathing treatment. And then in this cabinet, if I could get it open without breaking a nail, this is the suction unit, this big portable thing. And then this right here is just basically a warmer. It's like it looks like a cooler, like a, you know, like a lunch cooler, only this has a plug that gets plugged into the truck and it keeps this warm like a heat pack. And then there's saline in there for warm IV fluids for traumas and for any kind of like somebody that's hypothermic for some reason. So that's what that is. And then on this side, we have, these cabinets are sealed so that way our rig checks can go faster. This is all BLS equipment. This is basically cravats, ice packs, dressings, anything like that, stuff that the paramedics don't commonly use because BLS has it on their trucks. So this is sealed. Then we have spare life band. This is for our auto pulse. I would show you that, but it's pouring rain outside, so I'm not going to take you on the exterior of the truck today. The weather's too nasty. So that's just a spare band for the auto pulse. The auto pulse basically does automatic CPR for you. This doesn't belong in here. This is a cyanide kit for cyanide poisoning, stuff like that for bioterrorism. We have antidotes for that. And then we have a cleaning cabinet basically with some spare gloves, some bio bags for garbage on calls, and then we have some wipes down there for cleaning. Then we have our fire extinguisher. We're required by the state to keep one on us, and some spare oxygen. We also have a portable oxygen kit. This has an oxygen tank in it, as well as masks, tubing, nasal cannula, and some airway stuff that we can just take everything that we would need to manage an airway besides our own airway kit into a house. And then we have some spare linen there. The truck's a mess right now because I'm checking it, so please don't mind the mess. And I'm showing you at the same time. So that's my jacket. Monitor, primary bag, backup monitor. That's our airway kit. The backup airway kit is probably under the seat. I have to find it. But that is the interior of the truck. So now I'm just going to continue checking it and go back to you in a little bit. By the way, we were canceled on that respiratory call. We got canceled on scene. We made it all the way there, and the BLS decided that we were not needed, so that's a good thing. And we were canceled. That's why I was able to get back here and finish the rig check. So in between checking the truck, we got another job for a cardiac, and we got canceled. And now we're on our way to a pregnancy call. So it could either mean she's having some complications. It could either mean that she's ready to give birth. Either way, we're gonna go, and if we have to catch a baby, we'll catch a baby, right? Exciting day.
2 patients.
I know, that becomes 2 patients for us. And they're exciting. So barring any complications, these are the happy calls. So I'll be back.
I should probably ask you all my questions, get to know you better. Like, can you be trusted? Will you take me for granted?
So my camera battery died, so excuse the graininess. Hopefully there's no issue with the audio either in these clips. I have 2 camera batteries, but unfortunately I left the other one at home, so I had to switch to my phone. But anyway, it is 1 o'clock, halfway through the shift. We're over the hump, and we got canceled to that maternity call. We never made it after some crazy banter on the radio between the police department and the EMTs and the dispatcher. It was kind of comical. But anyway, I wanted to show you my lunch. This container is from Pampered Chef. It is the make and take salad container, and it's plastic, but it's also shatterproof, so you can drop it and hopefully, you want to say it won't break, but perfect for taking salad to for lunch when you're working. But in here is an orange container of sugar-free dressing, and then I have 2 greens in here, 2 containers of of greens. The first container is a layer of grape tomatoes and cut up baby cucumbers, and then I have a red container of taco meat, and then I have another green container of chopped romaine, and a blue container of cheese. So this is in essence a taco salad that's super portable. So what I'm going to do now is just shake it up so the dressing gets in there. It coats everything. So we have a wonderful, delicious filling salad in this awesome cup container for 1 blue, 1 red, 2 greens, and 1 orange. I chose not to put any carbs in here. Usually I would, if I had a carb that I wanted to spare, I would fill up half or a whole yellow container and put some croutons in there, or whatever else crunchy stuff you want to use. But this is gonna do me fine. So it's lunchtime. The weather today is absolutely disgusting. It is windy, it's pouring rain, it's like coming down in buckets, like literally, no joke, buckets. It's just a dreary day. It's gonna be like that all day today, all day tomorrow, which I think is good because I think it's keeping the call volume down. Like I said, I don't think people want to be out in this mess. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. Like the wind is just whipping and the rain is like smacking against the windows. But anyway, I just wanted to tell you about this cool airway class we were offered at our job. It's an advanced airway class that we were offered that we had to take in order to continue being allowed to RSI somebody, which is rapid sequence intubation. It's when you sedate, paralyze, intubate, more sedation, and then you can give like pain management, because they say that intubating somebody is a painful procedure, so we give pain medicine at the end. But we had to take this advanced airway class to learn how to manage difficult airways, which was an amazing class, I have to say. It was so cool. I'm going to insert a little video here. Hopefully it comes through. And I just want to give you guys a warning that this is a little graphic. It's cool though. It's pretty graphic, but it's cool. These are pig lungs right here. And that's a simulator of ventilating the pig lungs. And you can see them expanding and contracting and expanding and contracting. And that simulates our lungs because we have very similar anatomy to pigs, believe it or not. And then over here, you can see we had pig tracheas, and this is pig skin, where we were able to simulate human anatomy and starting a surgical trach on somebody, which was absolutely cool. Like, we have the ability to do that as a last resort for somebody that we can't ventilate. I hope to God in my career that I never have to do it, but we are trained in case we do have to do it. And I'm not gonna lie, I may shit a brick if I ever have to do it. Excuse the language, but it's a surgical procedure and it's scary, but we're trained to do it, so that's what that is. And look at the beautiful environment that we were taught in. We were in a classroom that was on the water at a marina, and it was just such a nice environment, and all the instructors were really great, and I thoroughly enjoyed this class, and I really enjoyed getting free education through my job. It's one of the greatest perks of working here, and we got paid to be there, which is even better because it was a requirement, which is a change from my last job. We didn't get paid for any of those classes, but it's amazing. The education that we get is great, and I just thought this was the neatest class, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So it's about 3:15, and I'm going to be eating my second yellow container of the day, and it's a half cup of brown rice and beans, and this is the yellow container. The yellow is a half a cup, so I usually break it up into 3 servings: breakfast, lunch, dinner. Today I didn't want to have this with my lunch, so I'm having it now. Depending on how I feel when I get home, I may or may not have the 3rd cup serving of the yellow container. Anyway, the weather's gross. It's been a good day today. It's been a really good day today. So I'm just gonna eat this, and then I'm gonna watch a little TV. We just got a job, so we'll be on our way to a difficulty breathing with abdominal pain. So that's where we're heading now, and as you can see, it is still raining. We actually just got a flood warning, a coastal flood warning from tonight until tomorrow at 5 a.m., which will probably update again because there's 90% chance of rain tomorrow as well. So we're going to be getting lots and lots of rain over the next 48 hours. So anyway, we're on our way to a difficulty breathing, and I'll update you after the call. I'm going to squeeze out the very, very last little bit of the battery of my camera. We were canceled on that respiratory/abdominal pain. Pulled up on scene, and BLS canceled us as we were pulling up. So haven't made a patient contact yet. It's 4 o'clock. Hopefully it remains that way. It is 5:40, and we are responding to a difficulty breathing now. And it's about 17-minute ETA from where we're at. The nature's difficulty breathing, but the notes are a little foggy. So we'll see what we have when we get there, and I'll update you after the call. So we got all the way out to the location of the call and we got canceled. Turns out the lady just had a fever and she just didn't feel well, but she was not in distress. So the EMTs felt comfortable taking her to the hospital without us, so they canceled us. And now we're all the way back to the station. It's 6:18 p.m. Hopefully relief will be here by 6:30, but I can't leave until 7. My battery died on that last clip. But anyway, we got canceled. We're all the way back to post. I was saying that I was hoping our relief was going to be here in 10 minutes, but we just got hit out to a cardiac arrest. So that's where we are now. It figures we did nothing all day, and now we're going to get screwed at shift change. So that's where we're going, to a cardiac arrest. Okay, so I'm home now. I didn't have a chance to close out the vlog at work because it was a hell of a shift change. We had a cardiac arrest. She wound up getting 8 epi, calcium, bicarb, 450 of amiodarone, a saline bolus. She was intubated. We shocked her twice. No response. So we got a patient pronouncement after all of that. And it's my chart. So it is now 8:30 and I'm just walking in the door. I'm supposed to get off at 7. I didn't get off till after 8 o'clock, 8:15. But here's what it is. That's happened sometimes at our job. So now I'm just going to go up and take a shower, figure out what to eat for dinner, pack my lunch for tomorrow, and call it a night because I'm exhausted. I'm exhausted. So, but anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate your support. If you could, please hit that subscribe button down below and hit the bell notifications so that you're notified every time I post. Follow me on Instagram at Everyday Tidbits and Facebook at Everyday Tidbits because I would love for you to be a part of my YouTube and Instagram and Facebook family. Social media. Look at my hair. Holy moly. Anyway, I hope everyone's being safe and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye.